This is ANN News Brief.
South Africa has reached 5,350 in coronavirus cases, the highest number of infections in Africa. Health Department reported a biggest daily COVID-19 cases of 354 on Wednesday. Health Department said in a tweet, this is the highest number of cases in a 24-hour cycle recorded so far and represents a 73% increase. It said the death toll had risen to 103. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has criticized South Africa and Qatar on Wednesday for accepting doctors from Cuba to battle the coronavirus. Pompeo accused Cuba of profiting from the pandemic. U.S. says Cuba's medical workers only benefit their government and told them to defect. Pompeo advised governments accepting Cuban doctors to pay them directly. He said, quote, otherwise, when they pay the regime, they are helping the Cuban government turn a profit on human trafficking, end quote. South Africa announced on Monday 217 Cuban doctors had arrived in the country to help in the fight against coronavirus there. Mozambique's President Filipe Nyusi has announced the extension of a state of emergency for 30 days to prevent the spread of coronavirus. The emergency has been in place since 1st of April. President Nyusi said the extension was because the earlier declared state of emergency had worked in slowing down the spread of the coronavirus. He urged people to do much more to curb this virus spread and warned that some people were still leaving their homes for non-essential trips. Mozambique has confirmed 76 cases of coronavirus and no deaths. Under the state of emergency, movement within the country is restricted and no foreigners are allowed in. Schools remain closed. The president said children should not roam outside, as been observed since a state of emergency was declared. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Ivory Coast has withdrawn from the African Human Rights and People's Court a week after the tribunal ordered the country to suspend an arrest warrant against a presidential candidate, Guillaume Soro, who was sentenced in absentia on Tuesday to 20 years in jail. Government spokesman Sidi Toure told reporters on Wednesday in the capital Abidjan the decision to pull out was taken at a weekly cabinet meeting. The decision, he said, was in appreciation of the nation's sovereignty. Ivory Coast's withdrawal means it will no longer be possible for NGOs and private individuals to refer directly to the court in cases involving the government. Amnesty International says that move is a step backwards for human rights in the country. That is ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adiemi.